I'm very much a person that from the very beginning has said F Ukraine. I stand on that.
In this video, we will be figuring out who is Candace Owens. I'm really interested to see what is her actual personality type. Hopefully we will find some videos where she's not being super official and diplomatic, but rather showing her own personal interests. Let's figure out who is Candace Owens.
Cry for people in Ukraine. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have you looked around America yet? Do you really think that this is what the people at home are going to respond to? We can do both. No, we obviously can't. Like, have you walked down the streets of Los Angeles? Have you walked down New York? We clearly, obviously can't do both, right? And so having, I think, that the courage to stand on something that doesn't feel establishment popular or mainstream media popular. I'm very much a person that from the very beginning has said F Ukraine. I stand on that.
China attacks Taiwan. You're good with it.
Everything that we're doing in the world right now is we're suffering from not being able to mind our own business. This idea regarding international liberalism, that it was now we must spread our ideas everywhere and everybody must accept them. Maybe people don't want to live like Americans want to live.
Wow, there was a lot of things. Well, first of all, she comes across pretty direct. She's not afraid to speak her own mind. I think her perspectives come from a more systematic point of view, where she's like explaining how in the society things are just happening in this way, like almost like thinking of the structure in her head. Currently, I'm getting directing, pretty initiating seems to me. Does not seem like she's afraid to speak her own mind. But again, this is an interview. I don't think we should just based on this now come to a conclusion of her personality type, but rather let's see some more.
As a mother, that I need to care more about what's happening in the neighbor's house while my kids were suffering in my house, I would look at you and tell you were crazy, obviously. Of course, I'm going to take care of my own house first. And if I have something after my house is in perfect order, right? And then you say to me, hey, they need help. That's just common sense. But if my house is in complete chaos and my kids can't eat and my kids are struggling, how dare you tell me that it's wrong to want to care for my own first?
Wow, to me, that seems like a really strong extroverted thinking and introverted feeling axis. How dare you tell me I have to care for others first? I am taking care of my own first. It's an introverted feeling approach to this. Seems like her extroverted feeling is pretty low. So not the community first taking care of yourself. So now it seems like we're not talking about a cooperative focus. We're talking more about a utilitarian focus.
Why are we funding saying that girls in Pakistan need to learn about transgenderism? This is the foolishness, because international liberalism, these are great ideas. No, actually, these ideas kind of suck, actually.
It's arrogance.
Because the average American doesn't think this way. The average American doesn't think that children in kindergarten need to learn 75,000 genders. We're not impressive academically. Kids are getting systematically dumber in America. We have nothing to show for all of the money that we're spending all around the world. Our country is in full decline. It's not just F Ukraine, it's F everybody until we get our house in order.
F everybody, damn. Okay, it's pretty direct. I'm getting pretty systematic. And as I said, seems to me, extrovert thinking, introverted feeling. She's coming across really systematic. She's having statistics, like average American does not think like this. She's just pointing out how just people around her just thinks and acts. Let's see if we can find something else that is not so formal. I would like to see some of her own personal opinions about her own life. Well, it's really hard to find anything where she seems to be less formal, but this one seems like she's talking with multiple of people, so maybe we'll find how she interacts with a larger group.
I am Candace Owens. I'm a wife. I'm a mother first.
Your documentary is saying, nah, he did that shit. Is that about...
And that's the most eloquent way to put it. Yeah, just showing people what they didn't want you to see, essentially.
Yeah.
Because when people decide on a narrative, the media gets fully behind it. It's a full court effort. It's supported by the usual pundits and suspects. Alec Baldwin got behind the Stephen Avery innocent train. I'm fascinated by the impact of propaganda. I've been impacted by propaganda. I'm married, third child on the way. Third child will be here in 10 weeks.
Oh, you're pregnant right now?
Yes, are you kidding me? Very pregnant right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's good of you not to assume, right?
Yeah, I don't
Might
want
get in
to.
trouble
I don't
and
want.
then-
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, she comes across really initiative. She's answering to questions, but she's also continuing the discussions, even answering to questions from a larger perspective. So I think I will say she is initiating. Also, just the fact how comfortable she is with her statements.
and I don't have a husband and I don't have errands to run, I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. I say all this to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I don't have kids and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday.
These are this community known as dinks. We're happy and we're childless. She talks about how great it is to be childless. There's absolutely no reason, if you had a great Saturday, that you need to bring up children. The fact that she has to correlate it to saying, and this somehow makes me better than people that have children, is the problem.
She's actually doing the shaming, and now we're trying to pretend that she's the victim. She's not.
Okay, I think we will change a video now. She's directing people, giving orders to people. Her answers are also always on point. She's not going around, but she's also really initiating. She continues the discussion. She talks really long, doesn't kind of almost give other people space to speak. So I'm going with initiating and directing. I also have not heard anything about her talking about community, about other people, about like the society from a human level. She just talks about the structure, which makes her even more of a systematic user. I have not heard one personal thing, or maybe yeah, about her life, children, but like, who are you? What are you interested in? It's more like just these are the structures, these are the things, these are the truth that I have to bring out. So I'm getting a really systematic perspective.
You got a husband, you got a little one coming up, and part of the pursuit of happiness, I think, is that. If you want to have a family, go have one. Yeah. Tell me how that feels. And you're in Nashville, so you're in a great place to raise kids.
It's the best place to raise kids. I mean, this all kind of just happened right on time. But it was interesting because I remember having a conversation about becoming a mother with a friend of mine. She's a podcaster, Ali Stuckey. And she said when she was pregnant, she's like, something about having a kid, it softened you. You know, she was like, I genuinely wish everyone had kids because it softens them in the right ways.
That is really interesting. So she's talking about, first of all, how other people have been telling her something about pregnancy, having children, how that's gonna affect her life, how she sees that's really important. She's kind of like also projecting her own values in this, like, this is why having a child is important. I think it will suit me up, which is good. Right now, we are creating the future for my children. That is a really extrovert sensing and introverted intuition approach. So what we are doing right now, concretely in this world, will change the future. And especially, she's specifically talking about her children's future. I can definitely see some extrovert sensing and introverted intuition in this.
You know, have you lost really good friendships or even family members?
Absolutely.
Because you are. Listen, I mean, there's people, you bring up your name to people and some people go, I love her so much, and other people go,
I'm an incredibly polarizing figure. It's interesting. It's like one or the other. Either they want me dead, or like, you know, they want to erect me into a statue. There's no in between. There's no one that's like, oh, I don't know. I lost a cousin. My cousins are like brothers and sisters, and they just could not believe that, you know, I was supporting Trump and I was doing it outwardly, and it sucked. There's really no other way to say it. I hate to use that word, but it was a really hard emotional time to go through because it was like losing a brother and a sister. This is not their time to realize what's happening. It's my time, and I have to fight for what I believe in. I am now a patriot. I have to fight for this.
I have to fight for what I believe in. That is an really strong introverted feeling perspective. Meant a lot for her, but how did those people feel? How they were rejected? Like, she's not talking from other people's perspective. She's completely talking from her own individual perspective. This is how I feel, but this is what I think is important. This is why I have to fight for this thing. So she's really coming across as utilitarian opposed to cooperative. By far, I think she is initiating, directing, and definitely utilitarian. For what I can see, Candace Owens does not talk a lot about her own interests. She just talks about structural things, systematic things. This is how the society works. That's why I think Candace Owens is an ENTJ. One common feature of EXTJs is that they can come across overly confident. I don't see any kind of doubt. I don't see doubt in Candace Owens. She comes across really confident. She knows what is important for her. Pretty typical ENTJ approach to life. What do you think? Who would you want to be typed? Write your comments below. Let's meet in the next video.